Okay, well, it's that time again, and we are here talking about the 24 solar terms, or the 24 chi, or the 24 solar cycles, as I talk about the change in weather. So we're still in Li Chu, which is the start of fall on the Chinese calendar, and it's about a month before the fall equinox when the West acknowledges fall. So Li Chu, we can already start feeling the changes in the weather, especially here in Florida. We have a storm out east, and it's literally pulling out the humidity out of the air. So we're having those fall changes coming, and the weather here is actually quite wonderful. So as we experience Li Chu, we're now preparing for the end of the late summer. So remember, the late summer starts a different period where we go through Xiao Shu, then Da Shu, then now we're into Li Chu, which is the golden period where everybody is sunning and funning and preparing for winter, getting their bodies ready for winter. So now we're moving into the end of the hot summer, into Chu Shu, and that period we consider the limit of heat, where again, we're in the period where the late summer begins to finish, which is the fifth season on the Chinese calendar, but actually it's the third because we start the seasons at spring, which is Chinese New Year, then summer, then late summer, and then now we've just entered into the fall. And then from fall, we go into winter and then back around again. So we're finishing up the hot portion of the summer. So you can see here in the circular chart that we are moving from the spring into summer. And you'll see there in the minor heat and major heat, we are moving into our start of autumn and then the limit of heat. So that period, we can see that where the late summer, the humid part of the summer is diminishing now, and everything it starts to get into fall, which is more drying. And then you feel more dryness and the air is more crisp. So we start to look at how the calendar of energetic trends begin to happen. So when we get into fall, we have the start of autumn, and we have the limit of heat. Then we'll experience what's called Bailu. Bailu is the white dew. Then we'll have Chu Fun, and then we begin to feel the direct changes. The direct changes are the autumnal equinox or fall equinox, and then we have both the frost descent and cold descent, and you start to feel the real changes getting towards winter. So as we look at how these trends begin to affect us, we can see now we're moving steadily from August 7th of this year to the next phase is Chushu, which is a few days from now on August 22nd. And then as we move into September 7th, September 22nd, and so forth and so on, into Bailu, Chufan, Hanlu, and Shuangjiang. So you begin to see how the trend begins to move, and we need to move with it. So as I go through each week, we look at the temperatures at highs and lows, and we can see how our bodies are experiencing the weather. So here in Orlando, or in Central Florida area, we've been experiencing 95-degree temperatures. So 95, 91, and the basically upper 90s. and then 93. So we're still, as of August 17th, still feeling the 91-degree temperatures, but it is not as humid because, like I said, as we're starting to move into the fall in the Chinese calendar, we're feeling the differences and the changes. And at first, in Shaoshu, Dashu, we feel the heat because the humidity is in the air, and that's how our body experiences more of the heat changes. The more droplets of water in the air, the more we feel it. The less we feel it. So then now their body is your body, our bodies are making changes and adjusting to that climate. And we can also add different things to our regimen, whether it be exercise or food. And we're going to be talking about certain foods according to your type soon to change how we experience and adapt to the external environment. So now that we're in the 91-degree temperatures in the highs, and we also experience the lows, at night it's in the upper 70s. So 76, 79, 78, 79, and 72. And I also include other types of cities where, like New York, Shanghai, Abu Dhabi, Chicago, and Montreal, their highs, like for example, Abu Dhabi is at 103, 109, and in the hundreds. That's what people are experiencing in that region of the world. So then now when we look at the highs of places like New York or the highs of the places like Chicago, then we look at the highs of Montreal, you can see different people are having varying type of experiences in temperature and then water droplet density like the dew. Okay. So you start to feel that humidity in the body, and the humidity is what gives us the reaction. So that reaction, we want to now make the changes so that our body can constantly, day by day, adjust to a specific feeling that is always in balance, and that constant balance maintains harmony. So then now as we look at the lows for Orlando, we're now in the 70s. So we're in 76 and 79, 78, 79, 72. But look at places like Abu Dhabi. They're above 100 for the highs, but then now they're going into their lows of 88, 91, 92, 91, and 90. So you can see the differences at night and what people in those regions of the world can experience, and then now what changes that they can make. Okay. So, like, for example, the different changes are based on where we're on the planet. So, we're in the northern latitudes. So if we're looking from the 29th, the 30th, and the 31st parallel, when we're moving through that particular region of the planet as it's turning, then you can see that places like Orlando, Florida, is just below the 29th parallel. And then we are in the same kind of regional weather patterns and experience as Cairo or Cairo, Egypt, or places like Wuhan, China, Sichuan, China, Punjab, India. So we're all feeling that same wave of energy, and the solar cycles are actually expressing their energy the same. So then people in that region can start to benefit if they do what? Start making the changes, and then they harmonize with the external nature of the world. And then the body can now make the changes. And then those small changes, those small wins are big wins. So now, if we take a look at our friends in the north, we have the northern latitude of 35, 40, and 45 degree parallels. And this is synonymous to Charlotte, North Carolina, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Philadelphia, and Denver, and Minneapolis, and Portland in the States. But in places like around the world, we have Beijing, Xi'an, we have places like Gibraltar, Madrid. So you can see that as we're experiencing things here, then also around the same parallels, they're experiencing the same. So then now, what is that information for? So as we look at this solar cycle table again, where are we? We're in the start of autumn, moving to the limit of the heat. And as our body is changing, we can now change with it. Now, how do we change with it? So depending upon your particular body type, whether you're a yang type or you're a yin type, you begin to now look at, like we did last week, star fruit and acorn squash. So now, when you ate that, what did your body feel? How did your body harmonize to that external stimuli? Now, this week, our little experiment on ourselves is to add loquat if you're a yang type, and then add bell pepper if you're a yin type. And as you incorporate that into your dishes, into your diet, whether you're eating this in a juice form like loquat juice, if you can find that in your local Chinese shop, or you just eating loquat, you put it into dishes, or you have bell pepper, you start cutting things up and start doing pepper steak or different types of pepper dishes, and then incorporate that so your body has that energy to actually have it to transform and allow yourself to have that particular relationship with the environment. So as you have that particular relationship with the environment, then your body feels more comfortable, more at ease, and you feel more relaxed. So as we begin to incorporate loquat for our yang types, we can see that what kind of action and available reaction that we're going to be getting from loquat. Because remember, when we're eating it, your body's going to have a reaction. So then we say that when you're eating foods, then the body will create a response, and this response will be beneficial to us. So, what do we have with loquat? We have lubricating dryness. The body will start to produce fluids and will help lubricate dryness. Now, why is this important? We're going into the fall season, which is in the Chinese calendar and the Chinese thought. We say this is the dry season as opposed to the humid season. So now we're preparing to enter into this season, and our bodies are ready where it's going to lubricate dryness. And people who have dryness can develop dry skin conditions. They can develop cough. So this is why I can stop cough. And then now, if you have the lubrication in your throat, then what does it do? It actually brings everything down, the saliva and digestive enzymes to help harmonize that enzymatic phase of your digestion to the acidic phase of your digestion and will harmonize the stomach's function. So now you digest better. So then now, as we say, descending rebellious chi. So what is rebellious chi? Rebellious chi is anything that causes you to go into the opposite function. Now, what is the opposite function? Well, your lungs should go down and bring in oxygen. Well, if it's doing the opposite, like coughing, that's rebellious. Your stomach should be descending things down into your intestines, but if you're vomiting, then that's rebellious. So the loquat actually helps bring things into its proper function and proper order. Now, because it's doing that, the traffic cop of the body, the thing that's harmonizing everything, making sure everything's moving to and fro, which is the liver, actually smooths out and is calming. So then now for the liver, When the liver is calm, you have peace of mind and you have a steady, constant flow of the body. So it harmonizes also your emotional response because we say that the liver is the seat of all emotion. So then now you can have some actual benefit with a calm mind and centeredness because you're not reacting to everything. You have a calm liver. So now, if you're a yin type, we're going to do some bell pepper. So now the bell pepper will strengthen the stomach, warm the stomach, improves the appetite and digestion, obviously, because it works with the stomach. And then now, as the stomach is moving through the acidic phase of digestion, moving things into the intestines to the thermic phase of digestion, then now this is promoting what? The circulatory system. So as it's moving different things, then it can actually do what? Move any particles or anything that's stuck in the stomach. So we say it removes stagnant food or removes food stagnation, which actually helps the body promote its blood circulation. So anything that promotes blood circulation also moves not just blood, but it also moves fluid. So this is why it can also help with the lymphatic system by reducing swelling. So as we move through the body, step by step, it will help each part of the body's blood circulation and what? Fluid distribution and circulation, reducing swelling. And because of that, then now it also can disperse cold. So now we have for our yang types and our yin types a thing we can do for the next couple of weeks as we enter into August 22nd, the Chushu period, and then you start to incorporate these particular foods and then see what it happens. See what happens to your body and see how you benefit from that. So now we get into our next phase, which is the Q&A. So it looks like we don't have any questions from you guys this week. So if you have any questions from just a general site, you can go and submit your questions to our Facebook page or our TikTok channel or Instagram, and then I will read off the question and then answer them here. So if you have those things, like different questions about the body type system, then we also do that at my practice, which is Affordable Asian Medicine. And you can become a member today of our practice and get the benefit of all kinds of different types of Chinese medical interventions, such as acupuncture, herbal medicine, or any type of cupping therapy, moxibustion, and ionic rebalancing, and more. So I am Jiao Shi, and I will see you all next time.